אי אפשר לעשות שירינג.
שלום.
שלום.
אני מירי שנפלד, התומכת הטכנית.
הנה.
נעים מאוד.
אני מתקשרת אליי.
אוקיי, אז...
את יכולה לתת לי אפשרות לעשות שירינג?
כן, כן, רגע.
אבל היא הדוברת השנייה, יש לנו דובר בשם ליבן. אז אולי
אז רגע, קודם כל אני נותנת לך. ועכשיו ליאורה.
כן. אני לא רואה את לבן פה.
אוקיי, מי עוד חוץ מליאורה?
לבן, אבל אני לא רואה, הנה, לבן כבר רצה קרבה אלי.
Hello, I am Levan Kvaratskaliak.
Hi,
Levan.
Quite difficult to pronounce my name.
Yeah.
So, Levan, I make you the co-host, so you will be able to share your presentation.
Okay, thanks.
We should start now.
Yes, we should.
Okay, hi everybody. My name is Ruwaida and I am the moderator. First, let me welcome you.
Hi.
Okay, to the session, to our session. Hi, and we will start with Livan Tovanshikilia. Okay. Livan is a guest lecturer at the Faculty of Education Sciences of Sohomi State University, Georgia, in the field of Sociology of Education and Multicultural Education. In the framework of the European Union project ASSET at Sohomi State University, he is piloting formative innovative assessment tools using modern technologies. He's a trainer of the trainers at the same formative assessment tools. I would like to mention here that in this session, we have only 2 speakers. So each speaker will have 15 minutes instead of 10 minutes.
Thanks. I will share my presentation right now.
Okay.
Yo.
Yes.
Hello once more. I am Levan Kvaratskaliak from Sohomi State University from the Faculty of Education Sciences. And with me, Professor Leah Khaladze is also
Leah Khaladze from Sohomi State University.
Hi, Leah.
Education Faculty, Education Sciences Faculty.
Okay, let's start. Our paper is Assessment of Emotional and Intellectual Skills with Open Digital Badges and Development of Analytical Writing Competencies in Higher Education Institutions. The paper presents how the concept and technology of open digital badges are applied in the Erasmus Plus co-funded project ASSET assessment tools for higher education learning environments for acknowledging, grading, awarding, and recognizing learners' efforts and achievements in developing their emotional, intellectual, soft skills like creativity, critical thinking, and so on, and discusses how analysis work and how students can write more analytically. By increasing their analytic skills, students will be able to develop their individual point of view into effective contributions to academic and professional inequality. Well, here's our team, Associate Professor Leah Khaladze, and me, invited lecturer Levan Kvaratskaliak, and here's our small biography, nothing special here. Well, this is table of contents where you can see what our presentation is about. First of all, it's introducing paper, then first and second stages, pages of 21st century and soft skills, third stage, and analysis. Well, first section is about main aim of this paper. And the main aim of this paper presents the study that is part of an ongoing project at the Sohomi State University to evaluate the potential of awarding digital open pages in different contexts. In the first stage, it was decided to test the open pages to assess the emotional and intellectual soft skills, and then to determine the correlation between the above and development of analytical writing competencies. Central to the success of the scheme was buy-in from the students themselves, so that the open pages had meaning and value to the recipients. A participatory design approach was adopted to engage students in the development process. Participatory design is an iterative methodology that attempts to examine the tacit, invisible aspects of human activity and incorporates them into a co-produced system. For the semester, a group of some professor researchers of Sukhumi State University has implemented a series of didactic actions to try to develop the assessment of emotional and intellectual soft skills with open digital badges. We have worked with third and fourth semester students, some of them aspiring to be teachers and others who are already. Despite of the specific goals and objectives of the Teacher Education Bachelor Program of the Faculty of Education Sciences of Sukhumi State University and subject itself, the distinct purpose of this pilot was to work on the development of students' analytical soft skills, competencies, and present assess them using open digital badges. During the period, open badges created for emotional and intellectual skills were piloted with a total of 4 groups of different disciplines, including education policy, education sociology, and multicultural education. The total number of students in this group exceeds 120. Well, let's move on to section 2. This is first stage. The first thing that we have done with our students was to conduct surveys to identify the areas they wish to develop. Also, each academic year, 5th and 7th semester students were asked to answer the questions why they wanted to participate in the pilot and what possible benefits could be derived from it. Results from the needs analysis carried out in October 2019 demonstrate students' desire to provide evidence of transferable soft skills such as effective communication, problem solving, and stress tolerance. You can see it on figure 1. In the academic year 2019, 79% of our students engaged with the program in order to acquire such evidence. You can see this on figure 2. With 69% identifying these 3 particular skills as a priority, 33, 18, and 18%. You can see this on figure 1. About methodology. We had here 3 phases. On the first and on the last phase, in order to establish students' attitudes and aspirations of the open pages, 2 focus group sessions were held. The first addressed issues like motivation, evidence, and structure, while the second, which was conducted after the online survey, dealt with more granular aspects such as leveling up criteria and page design. Online survey. The goal of the survey was to validate some of the results obtained from the qualitative data by consulting a larger group of students, testing some of the conclusions reached by the students who took part in the initial focus group. Here's the result. 3 main trends became apparent during the focus group sessions. First, this is visibility and privacy. Our students said that they would want pages to be as visible as possible. Second one was demonstrate real skills earned. According to the students, each open digital page should reflect with maximum accuracy the students' abilities and skills earned during the learning process. And third one was different levels of open digital pages. Students agreed that it is best to use several level pages in the learning process, as it's not possible for all students to have a certain level of competence and therefore be assigned the same open page. Here's section 3, second stage. Especially this paper describes the 5 types of analytical skills evolving model that was developed to support the process of awarding pages in the context of asset project. The core of this model is a set of metrics carefully developed for specific practical application cases following well-known pedagogical approaches. The metrics enable measuring and tracking learner scores in expanding their soft skills for development of analytical writing competence. Well, this is our 5 types of analytical skills. First is communication. Having a strong analytical skills means nothing if you cannot share your analysis with others. Second is creativity. Analyzing information requires a creative eye to spot trends in the data that others may not find. Third one is critical thinking, which is necessary for having strong analytical skills. Fourth one is data analysis. No matter what your career field, being good at analysis means being able to examine a larger volume of data and identify trends in the data. And fifth one is research. You must learn more about a problem before you can solve it. In other words, you will have to first collect data or information before analyzing it. Well, we had 5 groups of analytical skills, and we grouped each skills for this group. For example, in communications skills group, we have active listening, surveying, teamwork, oral communication, and presentation. In creativity group, we have brainstorming, collaboration, problem solving, strategic planning, integration skills. In critical thinking group, we have process management, case analysis, classifying, correlation, decision making, evaluating, judgment, and prioritization. In data analysis, we have SWOT, critical policy, predictive, process, qualitative, and quantitative analysis skills. And in research group, we have investigation, metrics, data collection, prioritization, and checking for accuracy skills. After that, we have created open digital badges for each of these groups and each of these skills. You can see on the left side, we have communication badges, which are purple, then creativity badges, which are blue, critical thinking badges, green, data analysis, yellow, and research badges, which are orange. Second section is about badges for 21st century soft skills. Before analytical skills pages, even before we offered open pages for analytical skills or emotional intellectual skills to our students, we already had the practice of using open pages of 21st century skills in the learning process. Soft skills are closely related to the so-called 21st century skills, a broad set of knowledge, skills, work habits, and personal traits that are considered highly important for success in today's world, especially in modern workplace settings. Therefore, and taking into account the wishes of the students, in parallel with the use of open pages of analytical skills and emotional intellectual skills, we continue to use the open digital pages of 21st century skills. Even before we offered open page, as it's written in Assets Teaching Manual for Soft Skills Assessment, the set of skills which have been identified as particularly important for coping, succeeding, and expressing well-being, and which can be addressed by the assessment tool, include self-awareness, emotional self-awareness, self-regulation, assertiveness, stress tolerance, empathy, interpersonal relations and collaboration, written perseverance, flexibility and innovation, growth mindset, and positivity and optimism. And we have created open digital pages for each of these skills and started to use this with our students. And this is our 21st century skills categories. 21st century skills are abilities that students need to succeed in their career during the information age. Each skill is unique in how it helps students, but they all have one quality in common. They are essential in the age of the internet. We have 4 different groups. This is learning skills, literacy skills, life skills, and other badges in 4th group. In first category, we have learning skills. This is, in other words, 4 C's: critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, and communication. In second group, we have, in second category, we have literacy skills, foundational literacy, information literacy, media literacy, information, communication, and technology literacy, cultural and civic literacy, scientific literacy. In third category, we have life skills, in other words, character qualities. This is flexibility, persistence, initiative, leadership, adaptability, productivity, curiosity, and social cultural awareness. And in the 4th category, we have 2 subcategories. First is master badges. This is quiz master, midterm, presentation, and final exam master badges. And in second subcategory, we have multiple level pages. This is gold, silver, and bronze pages. Well, in section 5th, we have a 3rd stage. In this stage, to investigate the final result with the scope of the paper, we conducted final research. The purpose of the study was to explore our students' perception of digital badges for development of analytical writing competencies, as well as for assessment of emotional intellectual skills with open digital badges and their perception of digital badges in general. Q methodology was used in a study of the student's subjective experience of digital badges, and 40 Q statements were selected. After a comprehensive reflection of their views of digital badges, the participants were asked to sort the statements to model their opinion in a modified rank order procedure. We use the Q methodology, which is an effective method to study people's subjective perception. The Q method is useful for systematically studying human subjectivity, especially the subjective aspects of people's views, beliefs, attitudes, options, motives, needs, values, and emotions. Statements in the Q sample are representative but not exhaustive of the diversity of what is possible about the topic. Once the set of statements has been verified and finalized, each
Excuse
statement
me,
or
1
material...
minute, one more minute, 1 more minute.
Okay. Okay, I'll skip some of slides, my slides. We collected the statements of the students who participated in the learning activities and selected sentences as a representative of the use of various strategies in the form of a Q sample. We sought permission to collect the students' views of the use of digital badges for development of analytical writing competencies in this course by asking questions and establishing feedback questionnaires on the course online platform. The open question was, how do you feel about the use of digital badges in this course? How they can help you developing your analytical skills? Please state the advantages and disadvantages in 8 to 10 sentences. Here, so we have analyzed this, but I think we don't have enough time for this. We have 3 groups.
Just briefly, if you can say 1 or 2 results, and that's it, because the time is over.
Okay. Okay, in 2 words, what I wanted to say was our some statistical information about our students' opinions about using open digital badges. You can see this on our slides. 92% thinks that digital badges improve their learning. 86% thinks that badges represent skills and achievements which encourage them. 77% thinks that digital badges make them actively participate in blended learning. And 80% thinks that badges represent their achievements and stimulates them.
Okay.
Thank you. If you have any questions, feel free.
Thank you, Livan. And there are some questions that could be answered after Leora's session. So I would like to thank you for your informative and interesting presentation. Now, I would like to introduce Dr. Leora Notov. She's a senior lecturer in Gordon Academic College of Education. Her research interests include educational administration, researchers' emotions, teaching and learning of qualitative research methods, and mathematical education. She published articles in refereed journals and conference proceedings and surprise master's students. The stage is yours. Leora, you will continue talking about similar things, I think.
Yeah, I hope so. Thank you for the introduction, and thank you, Livan, for your presentation. I'm so glad to see you, and unfortunately it is in Zoom and not in Tel Aviv. So I miss you guys from Georgia. Okay, hi again. I'm Leora Notov, and I teach at Gordon Academic College for Education. The major part of my work is to educate and to train future mathematics teachers. So how come that I take part in this conference, which focuses on writing? Actually, to do mathematics, one has to have a very high ability of reading comprehension, and to be a teacher, one has to have a good writing skills as well. Otherwise, pupil will not understand the teacher. So I feel very comfortable to be here and to learn more about writing skills, and actually, I very much enjoyed the conference until now. If any of you were at the presentation of Niva Dolev, so you already heard why basic skills are important. So I apologize if I will repeat what she said, but I think it is necessary. Hunter defines skills as a compilation of abilities and the acquired knowledge. Oh, I forgot.
Leora,
Ah,
maybe you can click on the presentation. There is like
yeah, I
a T.
can do it if I will find it.
It's on the.
Yeah, I know where it is, but I
Right.
couldn't see because of. Now you can see? Okay.
Yeah, better.
So,
Thank you.
thank you very much for your help. So skills are defined as a compilation of abilities and acquired knowledge regarding a performance of a task. And usually in the literature, we find two types of skills. One is called technical skills and other is called basic skills. Technical skills or hard skills refer to the knowledge required to perform a task or a job. So what are basic skills? And you heard in this conference, not basic skills, but rather soft skills. So there are many names for this type of skills in the literature. Basic skills actually tells us how to perform a task. For example, how to solve a problem, not the mathematical knowledge that you need to solve it, but how to do it, how to learn by yourself, or how to perform a task collaboratively. The big difference between the two types of skills is that basic skills are actually transferable. What do I mean by that? That when I know how to work in a group of mathematics teacher, I probably will know how to work in different kinds of groups as well. Skills that are required for academic writing. Of course, as in any domain, there are obvious skills, which are technical skills. We have to know how to correctly to do punctuation, grammar, or spelling, doing a literature review, developing an argument, present the case clearly, and so on. For this kind of technical skills, we do have tools to assess it. And we have formative assessment and we have summative assessment, and I will not talk about it at all. There are also other kind of skills that are less obvious skills, which are basic skills or soft skills. And they can be time management and critical thinking and curiosity and self-learning and much more. And I ask myself, what kind of tools do we have to assess this kind of skills? Because I actually don't want to have grades for time management or critical thinking and so on. So whoever heard Niva Dolev, I will refer again to it. She led a group that actually referred to how to develop soft skills and how to assess them. And I will present a different way that we develop at our college. I was very lucky that two of my colleagues, Dr. Smadar Gilad Chai and Professor Ditza Maskit, joined me, and three of us, based on the Delphi method, defined a new kind of assessment, which we called complementary assessment. So what is complementary assessment? Complementary assessment enables us, you can see the definition here, and I do not want to read it, but I can tell you that complementary assessment enables us to assess basic skills. However, it does not define the tools to do it. So fortunately for us at Gage College, I participated in Erasmus Plus project, which is called ASSET, and I was presented there to open digital badges by Professor Sirji Virkus and Ira Lepik from Tallinn University. And you heard how the Sukhumi State University, they applied open digital badges. We did it in a different way. We decided that we will use open digital badges not for one course, but on the organizational level. Whoever doesn't know what are open digital badges, I will give a short definition. They are visual representation which contain metadata about students' observed behavior and the criteria for the badge. Open digital badges are formative assessment tools that reflect the open source system common today in higher education. So what we did in the Gordon Academic College, we hope by bringing up the awareness about basic skills, we will encourage our students to develop these basic skills. Also, the complementary assessment supplement the traditional assessment because it's a very different type. It provides a broader overall picture of students' abilities to themselves and to potential employers. When our students get an open digital badge, they can share it with their potential employers by providing it on the internet, by putting it on their CV and so on. What are advantages of open digital badges? Why did we choose them for complementary assessment? So they are very verifiable. That means that when I give open digital badge to my student, the Gordon Academic College name is on this badge. And if someone is interested, they can contact the college and ask us why did this kind of student got this badge. They are shareable across the web. That means that if some student wants to do a site and put his badge there, it is very good for him. It contained embedded metadata about skills and achievements. So how we did implement open digital badges at Gordon Academic College. What we already achieved is we built a platform for staff and students to introduce the open digital badges. We have about 20 lecturers that presented open digital badges to the students and put it in the syllabus of the course, and the students knew what kind of open digital badges they can get in this course. We defined several general, sorry, there is a typo here. 7 general skills for every instructor to use. As I told you, it is on the organizational level. So what kind of skills did we choose? It is a curiosity, critical thinking, thank you. Empathy, leadership, self-learning, solving the problems, and working in teams. we actually choose these 7 skills because they are very needed in today's employable market, not only for teaching, but also for different kind of professionals as well. We also defined a new concept, complementary assessment, and we did a pilot at the first semester. The second semester was very
3
hard.
minutes, 3 more minutes.
It's okay, thank you. At the second semester, it was very hard to do the pilot because we were teaching by Zoom, so we couldn't observe behaviors of our students. So it is our next challenge, how to apply complementary assessment to Zoom kind of learning. So what are our plans for the future? To analyze the data from the pilot, to encourage more instructors to use open digital badges, and to promote the use of open digital badges by the stakeholders. And I mean by that we will approach school principals, Ministry of Education. We want them to pay attention to the open digital badges that we give to our students that are not that are very important, as well as a diploma and their grades. So thank you for taking an interest in my work, and feel free to contact me. And thank again to my friends Smadar and Ditsa that shared with me the definition of a new concept.
Thank you, Leora. I would like to thank you. Thanks for your wonderful presentation. I myself learned a lot from that, from both of you. So now we have time for questions. So I have 12 chats, so maybe some people are thanking and some people are praising, but maybe if somebody has a question, so please don't hesitate to ask. Yes.
I have a question. Thank you, Leora, for your presentation. You think these badges you can apply them also in disciplinary courses? For example, I'm teaching mathematics. Can I apply it to such courses?
I think so, because even in our disciplinary courses, today we apply PBL, for example. So when our students do PBL, they are working in teams, so you can give them a badge for if they are good team players. Also, if your students are very curious, and you can see that they are curious much more about the subject that you present in the course, so why not share it with everyone that this student is very interested in what he's learning. Also, critical thinking, like as a lecturer, you can always see, I don't know, 2-3 kinds of students that are really critically look at what you present at the course. So yes, I think that we can apply them.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I have a question also about, is it done in all the courses? All the courses in the program, they receive these badges?
No. We suggested, like we did, we presented open digital badges and complementary assessment to all the staff at the college, and we suggested that whoever would like to do it can join the pilot. So it's not compulsory, but whoever wanted joined the pilot and used them.
I didn't hear you very clearly, but I understand that it's lecturers who wanted to, and
Yes.
who sees the evaluation afterwards? Who is it? Who can see the results? How many badges a student received?
Okay, so actually we decided that to get a badge will be not so easy. Like to get a teamwork badge, you have to have 3 recommendations from different lecturers. And only then we will give the student this badge, and the student can see and to do whatever he likes with it, like to put it on his CV or in his site or whatever. Because today's employers are really seeking for people that can that have these basic skills, not only technical skills.
No, I understand the soft skills, the importance of soft skills is understood. I just, like in the college, does it go from year to year? Does a student who receive badges in the first year, will the lecturers in the second year see his evaluation from the previous year, or it's the choice of the students if they want to share this information?
We are really at the very beginning of this project, so your question is very interesting, because up till now we decided that it will be up to the student to decide what he is doing with his badge. It is his decision. I will give him the badge, and then he will decide what to do with it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for the question.
Liora, I am
Yes.
Mirishon Feld, but I'm here as a technical support, so my name is Room 3. But my question is about something you mentioned at the beginning, that you followed the Delphi research. Can you elaborate about the Delphi research that you done?
Yes, Delphi method. It's a very good method to define a new concept.
Yeah, I know the Delphi method. I ask, what did you do with the Delphi method?
Okay, so we had 3 rounds of oh, it's hard for me to say it. At the first round, we sent 3 different definitions of complementary assessment to 14 professionals that deal with assessment. And we asked them to choose one assessment which really they feel like that matches the complementary assessment, and not only to choose one, but also to give us the reason why they choose this definition. At the second round, we took all the results, and then we improved our definition, and we sent it back to 20 different professionals at our staff in the college, and we asked them several questions. So then we got all this data for 2 rounds, and the third round we did between the 3 researchers, Miss, Madar, and Ditsa, and like we were discussing every word and the definition, and we came up with one of the definition that we agreed between us. And I can tell you that we are very fortunate. We sent a short article with a definition to Lexicate, and it will be published later this year.
Excuse me, there is a question from somebody else. So, and we have only 2 minutes. Yes. So somebody, I think, Susanna
yes,
Ewing.
That's me. Yes, yeah. I thought that was easier because it looks like the questions that are being put in the chat aren't visible. So 2 questions that I've seen. One of them is really for both of you. We're curious about which platform or tool you have used to create and develop and award also these badges. And also, I mean, you've had to convince faculty to participate in this program. How did you do that? I mean, it's very gamified. I can imagine that some of them thought this was very frivolous.
I will give Levan to answer, and then I will answer, okay? Levan?
Thank you.
Well, we are using OpenBadgesMe for issuing our badges, but to create our badges, we are using some professional programs, for example, Photoshop, CorelDRAW, or so on. But if you want to create some, I don't know, special design, you can find it in internet. There are free shapes that you can use when you are creating your own open digital badges. And what about faculty? Professor Leah Halata is the Dean of the Faculty of Education Sciences. So it was quite easy for us to work with open digital badges because we don't needed any kind of permissions because she was Dean, and it was quite easy for us to work.
You might not have had to convince them to accept them, but they still had to do the assessing in order to decide who would.
You know what our university did? These open digital badges that students earned are in the supplement of their diploma. So our university and our rector helped us with this. So this is official now for our university.
Cool.
Okay, thank you, Levan. We did a very long process. Like I had to convince our president of the college to let me do it, and he actually very much liked the idea, because you know, to be a teacher, it's not only to know how to teach mathematics, it's also how to correlate with your friends, with teachers, with students, their parents, and so on. You need a lot of soft skills. So we started to do workshops, and we created a
Sorry,
team.
Liora, the time is over, so
okay,
I don't know. No, you can wanna maybe 2 minutes. Okay.
So we started to do workshops, and we started to publish to all the lecturers in the college and whoever, and we invited them to join us. So this was the first step, and we only at the beginning of the process. So I cannot really tell you much more about it. I hope next year I can tell you much more.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Levan, would you like to say something?
Well, Professor Leah Haladze wanted to say thanks for all the asset team, because they made this chance for us to be here and to present our case study. So thank you very much, and we are very happy to be here today.
And thank you for presenting and sharing your research with us. Thanks, everybody.